inside the BMW 1 Series, you're greeted with a little bit of luxury and a few things that are not so luxurious as you would wish, maybe, in some circumstances. You have a very, very nice feel to the materials around the car, but then you have this smooth, I guess in some ways metallic, if you want to call it, or matte grey plastic, which just feels a little bit cheap. The central unit, again, the plastics they used, does feel a little bit cheap around here and around the ventilation units. But except for that, the actual car interior actually feels pretty comfortable. It feels pretty well made and very well put together, as you would expect from a BMW. Now, this is the entry level vehicle. The 1 Series is the cheapest vehicle you can get from BMW, but even still, the car will come with Bluetooth. It will come with cruise control. I believe it comes with AC as standard. It'll come with a satellite navigation unit, whereas I believe it is Audi and Mercedes, they'll ask you to pay, I think it's an extra £500 or so for the added bonus of having a navigation system in there. And you will also receive in this car DAB radio as standard, even in the basic models. Now, this car is a 1.6 litre engine, and it's a petrol, not a diesel, and it's an automatic transmission, so it's a pretty nippy car. The gears change pretty well. I believe it's a 7-gear car, this one. But what is it like to drive? Let's take it out on the little test drive and I'll show you. Now, you have got 3 different settings to this car. As you press the little button down here next to you, you have Eco Pro, you have Comfort, and you have Sports Mode, the dynamic driving, as you want to call it. You also have the option to take off the traction control, which makes the car a lot more fun to drive. Now, if you are looking for a car for the, a nice little hatchback, a 3 or 5 door hatchback, for the joys of driving as well as the comfortability and the luxury interior, then this car, I think, ticks quite a lot of the right boxes. I believe that obviously maybe on the higher ranges, the finish of the vehicle will be a little bit better, which I'm sure it will be. But for the entry level, if you're looking at the 1 Series, the most basic model you can get, you might be disappointed with a couple of the finishing inside the vehicle, but that's expected for the basic entry model. This car will give you approximately between 58 and 60 miles, well, 58 and 65 miles to the gallon if you're driving it on eco mode and driving it properly and not revving it too hard. And well, if you're not going to drive the car how BMW is supposed to be driven, then you're going to get good mileage out of it. But if you're not, you still get a good little 40 miles to the gallon, which is not bad at all for a petrol car. Although saying that, the CO2 emissions that this car emits is around about 130, I believe it is, grams per kilometre, which puts your tax a little bit higher than if you were to get the diesel version. Now, this car would do 0 to 60 if anybody's interested for a 1.6 engine car. This car would do it in around about 7 seconds. So it's not the fastest getting off the line, however, not bad for a 1.6. The starting price for this vehicle, I believe, is around about £23,000, which is, well, it's a BMW, isn't it? So you're paying for the reliability of the vehicle, the way it's built, and the badge, and just the sheer fun you get from driving this car. Oh, yep, this vehicle takes corners so well. Although I do think one criticism I will give to this car is that the seats could have been maybe a little bit more comfortable, but then, gripping you in rather than sort of flinging you about when you're going from, when you're making turns. However, the seats, you can get them upgraded. You can pay a little bit more to get more comfortable seats and more grippy seats, if you want to call them that. I mean, if you want to compare it to its 3 main competitors, which is the Audi A3 and the Mercedes A-Class, this car, hands down, the best driving, handling around bends. It is, quite frankly, the best. Another thing I will say about this car is that the visibility through the back window is very, very poor. The window is very, very small, and if you have the headrest up in the back seats, you're going to struggle to see really anything out of that. So if you can go for the option of getting rear parking sensors, I would strongly recommend that. It will cost you a little bit more, of course, but it saves you from getting any bumps and scratches in the back of your car. it's just so smooth, so effortless around the corners and the bends. It's just an absolute joy to drive. So effortless. It's a really good drive in comparison to the Audi A3 and the Mercedes A-Class. This is the best driving car you can get. Driving it now in a dual carriageway, doing about 40-50 miles an hour, you do get a lot of road noise. That's one thing I will have to say about this. There's quite a lot of road noise inside, and I wouldn't have been that fast, and the roads are dry. There's no moisture on the roads to pick up any more noise or make it any louder than it is. It just seems like a very... not too sure about that. It seems pretty loud for the speed that we're going at the moment. BMW 1 Series is a fantastic car. I honestly wasn't a fan of this car until I drove it, but now, I mean, the way it handles is superb. The suspension is spot on. The comfortability of it is good. The seats could be better, but then you can get them upgraded or so. The agility of it on the road is good. The response on the steering wheel again is also good. The central unit for your navigation, your music, is again the easiest and quite frankly the best out of the three competitors that it's got. It looks fiercely. It is a BMW. You got the logo here, you got the badge here, you got the badge there and everywhere. It is a strong car to have. I actually have really enjoyed driving this car for the whole day. It's been great fun. A couple of things I will say that are negatives though is, again, some of the finishing in the car could be better. It feels a bit cheap in some areas. The back seats are a little bit tight for a 5-door hatchback, and you have the massive wing, whatever you want to call it, of the back door, which makes getting in and out of the car very, very awkward. And opening doors when you're, say, next to another car, I mean, you're gonna have to hit the car, otherwise you can't get out of the back seats. So that's the negative as well. The boots, the way it has the, I guess, center pillar, the pillars on the sides, again limits how much you can put in there. I mean, large objects such as, I guess everybody says, golf clubs and buggies, for example. But except for that, overall I think this is a fantastic car to drive. I would recommend definitely test driving this car if you're looking at the three competitors and make your own judgment on that. I believe the BMW is great handling, great fun to drive, better than the Audi, better than the Mercedes A-Class. So again, hopefully this helps you make an informed decision on what sort of vehicle you're looking after, you're going to be getting, and hopefully it helps you pick the right one for you. Guys, my name is Heinz. I'm from Car Curious. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give a subscribe, give a like below, and share it around so this can be passed around to as many people as possible. Thank you very much, guys, and have a good one. Take care.